Alright, I am now going to tell you a story about ghosts. And this story contains some content warnings. So I am going to talk about suicide and mental health issues. So please just do not watch the video if those are things that might trigger you into something. I do not want to harm anyone. But this is a story of ghosts in this school where I am at right now. So yeah, be careful. Here's the video. Hello, it's me, H.P. Lehkonen here, and as you can see, I am not at my home. This is the Liminka School of Arts where I am currently teaching in. And I wanted to do a short blog just because I want to tell you all about this school, because this school is haunted. Yeah. And I have actually met a ghost in here 2 years ago when I was teaching here for the first time. So for that reason, I want to tell you a little bit about this school. I have my computer here, and in here I have all the information about the school. And I'm gonna say this at the beginning. The school is full of students, okay. So the school day has already ended, but a lot of people are still working in these spaces around here. So if somebody comes in, I'm just gonna cut that out from the video. So if there's weird cuts, then someone has come in. But anyways, I'm gonna translate you the information from the school website. So yeah, the Liminka School of Arts was founded in 1892 in Liminka, and it was founded because there had been a war in Finland, and then it ended and Finland became an independent country. And we wanted the country to become great, make Finland great again, but not like the Americans try to do it right now. We actually decided to make schools, just get some kind of education going on. So Finland formed 3 schools in the whole of Finland. It was a small country and there wasn't many people living here, and one of the schools was Limingan Taidekoulu, Liminka School of Arts. And at that time the school was not an art school, it was just regular education. I read that some of the things that we were taught in the school was religion and just writing, counting, all kinds of stuff like that. It was a really old thing, so of course they were teaching religion in the school. But anyways, yeah, and that was 1892. So it's been a long time, over 100 years. And the weird thing is actually that wasn't that's not when these buildings were built. Before that, these buildings already existed, and the buildings belonged to the Church of Liminka, the Evangelic Christian Lutheran Church of Liminka. So these buildings have been used for many different things, among storing dead people, because this is way up north. This is so up north that during the winter the ground is just completely frozen. You can't dig graves. Well, nowadays you can because you have equipment for that, but back then you had to use a shovel and it was really hard. So you kind of had to just wait for the spring to come if somebody died during the winter. So some of these buildings have been used for that. And I think that's one of the reasons why this place is haunted. And yeah, but this building I am in right now is Impivaara. And this is the comics building. And this comics building doesn't have that much haunted activity thing going on. This is one of the normal buildings in here. But I work super late at night. I teach during the day and then I just draw my own comics in here during the night up until like 3 a.m. And every night people start leaving around, I think, 9 p.m. or something, and they come to me and they say, bye bye, I'm gonna leave now, bye bye, I'm gonna leave too, bye bye. And I'm like, yeah, bye, bye, bye. And then everyone is gone, but I still keep hearing footsteps. The footsteps they just never stop. And that's weird because I kind of like don't believe in ghosts. Yet the whole building is empty except for me, and I keep hearing footsteps. And what I'm doing with that is just I'm just like tolerating it. What else can I do? I don't know. I don't know. If they're ghosts, there's nothing I can do. Well, anyways, you can see that the camera is like the color of my face is completely different at different times because the sun is setting as we speak. But yeah. The one time that I have actually like met a ghost in here, like I mean I can hear footsteps but that's not meeting a ghost. That's like existing in the same space with the ghost, and that's it. But I have actually met a ghost, and this ghost is not an ancient ghost from the times when Liminka School of Arts was still just a regular school. This was from the time it became an art school, because it became an art school at 1960, and the ghost I met was probably a ghost of a student who died in 90s, a new ghost. So this is how it went. I was sleeping in this building that's called Little Arvola. There is Arvola, which is like a big building meant for students as like a dorm building, and then there is Little Arvola that used to be only for teachers, but nowadays also students sleep there because mostly teachers have their own apartments like further away because people have cars nowadays, so teachers don't have to stay at the school. I mean, this is a boarding school, so most students live at the school, and teachers used to live here too, but nowadays they don't because of cars. So yeah. I was sleeping in the Little Arvola, and I was going to go to sleep, and I had like an allergic reaction. I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired, like I don't want to put the lights on. I just want to take my allergy medicine, and I take my pill box that I have, and I just ramble through it to get allergy medicine, and some pill from the box just drops on the bed and rolls under the bed, and I'm like, all right, well, I have no idea what that was. Probably I was back then I was still on some depression medication, so I'm like, it was probably like Xanax or something. I wasn't on Xanax. We don't use that in Finland. It's like basically something like that. I don't even know what would be the American equivalent of that drug that I was using. But anyways, it was a depression medication pill that went under the bed, and I was like, well, I will just take this allergy medication and then just go to sleep. And then I went to sleep, and I checked the clock. It was like a little bit past midnight, just like I think like 15 minutes past midnight, and I go to sleep, and exactly an hour later, I know this because I checked my phone afterwards, but anyways, exactly an hour later, I start hearing someone talking in my room, and I start waking up because I hear this talking, and I'm like, it must be my husband, because he normally, like, I sleep here, he sleeps there. I'm like, it's probably him talking in his sleep again, because that's what he sometimes does. And I just say it out loud. I say out loud, mitä vittua Hugo? But in Finnish, that's like, what the fuck Hugo? And then I realized I am not at home, and I am hearing someone talking in this room that is locked, and I am here alone. Like, I didn't hear any words, actual words, I was just hearing mumbling. And I was like, holy fucking shit. It's super dark in here because there is no street lights or anything. So even if there would be no blinds or anything, you can't see anything in the room. So it was pitch black. and I just reach for my phone, super scared, and I take my phone and I put the light on it, and it stops. Exactly the moment when the light comes to my phone, the mumbling stops. Nothing happens. And up until that moment, I have this strange feeling that something is in the room with me. But exactly the moment when the light is lit on my phone, the feeling is gone. And I checked the clock. At that point, it was exactly an hour later from the moment when I dropped that damn pill. And at that point, I don't even remember the pill. I mean, the pill comes in kind of later in the story. But when I watch horror movies, every time I watch them and something weird starts happening, I'm always like, this is so, like, this is not believable. Why do they stay in that haunted house? Why did they not leave? And now this happens to me. Somebody talks to me out of nowhere in an empty room, and I'm there and I'm like, maybe if I just stay here and not leave, I think that's a good idea. I'll just stay here and try to sleep. And that's what I did. I didn't sleep very good. I was way too scared, so I slept really bad. And I just kept waking up all the time because I was just fucking scared. But I did exactly what everybody in the fucking horror movies does. I just stayed in the room and never left. Yeah, but I didn't die. I'm here still. I'm still here and I keep coming back to the school anyways. But yeah, after that, next morning I woke up. I go to eat breakfast, and on the breakfast there is this teacher of the comics, comics class, and I tell her about this thing that happened to me in the night. I was like, I think I saw a ghost, or not saw because it was so black, but I heard a ghost. And she's like, oh, wow, you are in Little Arvola. Little Arvola doesn't have a ghost, so what ghost could it be? Because these people know all the ghosts in here apparently. And I'm like, okay, well, I have no idea. And she's like, it could probably be the ghost of Arvola, but why would she come to Little Arvola? Because she's like one of the students from 90s, and she died because she committed a suicide in the school, in her dorm room in Arvola. And Little Arvola and Arvola buildings are so close to each other that if you stretch your arms like this, you can touch both buildings at once. So yeah, I was like, oh, died of what? Like suicide? How? And she was like, yeah, she took an overdose of her mental health medication. I do not know what kind of medication. And I was like, okay, that explains why the ghost came to another building, because I had just dropped a mental health medication pill on the floor under my bed. And I was like, okay, that's scary as shit. So yeah, that's fun. Yeah, after that I was terrified to sleep in there, and in the end I ended up my brother lives in Oulu, which is quite far away from Liminka, but still a tolerable way from here. So for the weekend I went to my brother's place. I did not stay at the school because I just didn't want to sleep in that house anymore. Well, guess where I'm sleeping this time? I met the ghost 2 years ago, and this time I am not staying at Little Arvola, I am staying at Arvola, which is exactly the place where the ghost lives. Fun. Well, anyways, nothing has happened yet. I haven't seen a ghost. That was, this is just, night 1 has passed, and no ghosts. So I hope no ghosts will appear at any moment. I do not want to see any ghosts. Please do not. I actually asked when I got the room, I asked, is this the room where she took her life? And no, it wasn't, so I guess I'm fine. I'm probably gonna be okay. Probably not gonna see any ghosts. But yeah, that was a weird story. And the rest of the buildings, they are pretty much haunted, like most of the old ones. There are a couple of new ones that have been built in 50s or something. I don't even know, I'm not quite sure. But those are not haunted, but all of the older buildings are. There is one building that even has poltergeist happening in there. The building is used for painters. The painting side of the school is using that building, and sometimes there's like two levels. There's like one big room that has like a really high ceiling, and then there's like another room in here, and then upper room in here, and there's like a balcony from this room to another one. And from here the poltergeist has been like throwing cans of paint downstairs, but I have never seen that because that's not a building I go to, because it is not just like, it's just not interesting to me, you know, anyways. But yeah, I am going to go and take pictures of all these buildings, and I'm gonna see if I can take some videos too. And on my Patreon I do this just Patreon feed where I talk about my work and my travels and everything. I'm gonna write about these ghosts and show some pictures from the school in that tier. That's the $3 tier. If you want to see that, my Patreon link will be at the end of the video. So yeah, go see all the ghost places. I will ask if I can go into the room. I don't know who's staying in the room where I first met the ghost, but I will ask them very nicely if I could go to the room and take some photos in there, so you would see exactly what kind of room it was. And yeah, I can take some photos on Arvola too, and I will go to the poltergeist room to take some pictures of that one too. But yeah, this was a weird story, and I hope, I mean, I was talking about some heavy subjects like self, like what is it? Suicide. So I just really hope nobody got like triggered into anything. But yeah, I will put trigger warnings at the beginning of the video. Well, now you're watching the video, so you already know they were there. But anyways, that was my ghost story of this school. This is a weird place. I hope the ghost will not appear this night. And the Patreon link, I can put it here. I know how to edit. In here it is. Look at it. Go there and you will get pictures of the ghosts. I probably can't catch any ghosts on camera, but anyways. Moikka!